It's Hillary with Lazy Lima Life, and today we're going to try something new. I don't have a plan for how this is going to work out, but I have a bookmark swap coming up from Litsy. If you're a reader, I highly recommend going to litsy.com and signing up because it's pretty much book porn, not porn books, because that's totally different. But whatever you read, you can put a review, and other people can add it to their reading list, and it's fun. And rather than doing a book swap, which I just feel is like way too much of a commitment for me, I decided that I was going to join the bookmark swap. That's for the holidays. So I have, I think, 3 people that I need to send bookmarks to. I know I have at least 2. And I've received one package already. It really told me, hey, you need to get on the stick on this one. So what I have done is I've cut I make a lot of bookmarks anyway, generally. So I cut my blanks. I found some ones that were already done, that, front and back, and notched. So I'm going to see if I can, use these. I also have some tags here, which I'm going to try to use. And my friend Tracy, hi Trace, sent me some paper, which was really cool, and lots of little goodies. So I'm going to try to use some of those. So I've cut these. They're 6 inches by, I don't know, what is that, about 1.5 inches? Yeah, whatever. It looks like a bookmark to me. That's how I cut it. And then Tracy also sent me these scissors. So I'm gonna try to use some of these. And I have some washi tape here. So we're gonna see how many bookmarks we can make in about, I don't know, 10 minutes? Let's see. All right, you ready? Let's go. We're going to do things just a little differently today. Since I lost the audio for this video that I recorded in, God only knows, I think December is when I did this. And it's a little crazy because it was so long. It was like pieces, and it ended up being 2 hours long. So I lost a lot of the audio, cutting it down. And I just thought, hey, I'm just going to do a little voiceover while I'm making these, because the instructions, there aren't really any instructions. Tape things together. There you go. Then glue things on top of them. There are your instructions. I thought I'd just talk about, what this was for me, because I had a swap, like I said, to do. And I just thought, hey, I'll just get some pieces of paper together and some tape and see what happens. And it just got me thinking about, when was the last time I had done that? It's, always like, oh, I got to do a project. I got to do a project. And, I got to knit this, and I got to make a card here. And yeah, I have to make bookmarks here, but I had no idea what I was going to be doing. So it just became play for me. And so I started thinking about play. And so that's what I'm kind of going to talk about over our instructions here. Although I do want to say, if you're using tags and you have to punch the hole before you stick it onto the backing, so that way you know where the hole is. Anyway, I've said before, I've always liked really making things, from every time I was little. I mean, the books that I would get from the library were always like how to make doll clothes, how to, sew yourself a hemp bikini or whatever. I don't know. But it was the 70s, and I was always attracted to those, that sort of DIY mind view or whatever. Anyway, I really liked learning about different art forms. You see here is I'm using the bookstore readers or flyers or magazines to get the pictures of the books from. This is from Hills and Hamlets, and that was the first one was from Books A Million. So they're good sources of. Oh, there's also bookmarks that I got from, I think, a trade show. So they're always good sources of material to get your readerly type pictures from if you have to do readerly type bookmarks like I did. Anyway, back to art and play, and I really just liked learning about different art media, different methods and practitioners. I was fascinated by Michelangelo for a while. I was an odd kid, but I loved learning about dance. I loved reading about ballet. My childhood heroine was Maria Tallchief, who was the first Native American prima ballerina. Um, and just fascinating artsy people just made it for me. Anyway, I was watching this video and looking at what I was doing, because I had to watch it so many times, and I found that I didn't think I really had a style, but I would have just said, oh, it's eclectic, and which it really actually is, but I wouldn't have. It just would have. I would have been. That would have been the fallback, because I didn't have any other idea of what to call my style. But it actually is eclectic. But now, on watching the video, I see that I really like color and pattern and texture. I like positive and negative space. So you see me applying the lace here, and it's not just the lace I like, but I like the pattern of the plaid that comes through the pattern of the lace, which is also, a patterned paper. I like mixing patterns and textures and colors and things that people say, hey, that doesn't go. Well, watch me. Don't challenge me on that. I like using these little inchies that I cut, little 1-inch squares, and that's another type of plaid on the patterned lace paper, on top of the more holiday type plaid. I like making the punches, because that's negative space here in this paper, and which I'll probably use. I didn't use it in the bookmarks, but I'll probably use it somewhere along the line. And oh my gosh, that punch is so old. It's probably like the first punch I bought. Um, and I think I bought it at Stamp La Jolla. So Marianne, if you see that, thanks for the punch for $5. That was a good price. uh, anyway, I found that, back to my own work, is that while I'm not a fan of symmetry, I do like balance. So my balance comes from color. I've always felt like there are different weights of color, and that light color and dark colors, have different weights. Dark colors are heavier, light colors are lighter. And so I try to find the balance in that. Oh, just to make a little note here, I'm using some baker's twine, or whatever they call that, ropes, that twiny rope thing. And this was really cheap from Michael's. It was like $1. And it like unravels if you look at it funny. So the way we just fix that is just add a little glue to the ends and let it dry. And like I said, I've liked positive and negative space. I like how these light colors, this purple flower background goes on this light beige plaid, and to anchor it down, I'm giving it a little, what I thought was black and white tape, but when I applied it, you can kind of see it's not white, it's transparent. But that was like a pleasant little surprise, because it didn't change anything for me. It just made a different picture, I guess is the right word. And just, I'm not like, I've seen people like lay things out and try to get things exactly, perfect, and with the ruler and everything. And yeah, whatever. uh, uh, I just go by eye most of the time. And if I don't like it, hey, it's paper. I can throw it away, or I can take it apart and reuse it. Um, I don't know how many classes I've taught, a lot, where students have gotten really frustrated because they see what they have produced as imperfect. And it's because they compare their work to others with a different style, others with different backgrounds, or some people that have been, producing stuff for 20 years. And compared to, and there's always one in the class. It's like, oh, this is the first time I've ever, held a marker. And look, I've just, duplicated the Sistine Chapel right here on my piece of paper. But those are abnormal people, and we talk about them behind their backs, so that's okay. So going back to the comparison thing, it's true that comparison is the theft of joy. Is that the quote? And it's not just about in art, it's in life. And so that's why we got to have a sense of play about what we do, especially artistically. Play just allows for you to embrace your own unique self, your own unique abilities. It invites you to an adventurous game of what if. We used to play that all the time as kids, and then, we got tired of it and said, no, that's not what adults do. And we've missed out on an adventure, I really think. One of the things I've been doing this year has been the 100-day challenge. Well, actually, not this year. I've been doing it for about 10 days. And it's on Instagram. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, I'm at Lazy Lima DIY. And you get to choose what you want to work on for 100 days. Some people have chosen stitching. Some people have chosen watercolor. And I've chosen just play. It's been fun. I've found I am enjoying playing with geometric patterns and dark colors. I'm using a lot of Sharpie markers, and I'm not saying I'm coming up with anything that's suitable for framing, but and I'm keeping the pieces small because you have to do something every day. So I just think that's fun. What's wrong with fun? I don't know when we got the wild hair that we have to be so serious all the time. It's not a waste of time to doodle or paint or stitch without knowing what the outcome is going to be. We don't always have to have a plan, and we can just find some pretty paper. This paper I got in San Diego last summer, and I think it was at the art store. That's what it's called, the art store, I think. Or the artist supply store. That's when we went to like 3. We went to Dick Blick and everything. And these packs were like 99 cents. And I really, really liked them. They're fibrous and thick. And I probably should have glued it rather than taped it now that I look at it. But yeah, that was a fun little jaunt. But yeah, we just have to let ourselves play with paper and with materials, and not be like, oh, this is, I'm wasting materials, I'm wasting time, I'm wasting, things. It's not about that. I was at a craft show one time, and one of the things that I have in my that my display is, I had some rings that I had made, and I have them in a little cooking mold, a little heart-shaped cake mold, and then to keep them upright, I have rice in there. And so it was at a cooking school, and or an art school, and one of the chefs to be came out, and she was like, "Oh, I see that white rice, and I see that as a waste of food." And she's like, that's not cool, man." And just like, first of all, you don't know me. You don't know where this rice came from. I could have swept this up off the floor, whatever. But the thing was, it was rice that had gotten lost in the cupboard, and so it had gone off. And which it does. Rice does go bad. So that's why I was using it. So I wasn't wasting it. But at some point, you just have to realize, like, she was learning to be a chef. And it's like, not everything is going to be 5 stars. Not everything is going to be, suitable for fine dining. I mean, you're going to make some flops, and some of those flops are not even going to be edible, at least if you're treating your career properly. You don't just want to do what other people have already created before. You don't just want to copy. You want to come up with your own style, your own thing. So uh, I was a little insulted by that, and I'm thinking, hey, she's probably thrown away. She's still in cooking school. She's probably thrown away some dishes. Uh, I mean, what do you do when the dough doesn't rise? You just like keep adding yeast and waiting for it to work? No. You throw it away. You learn your lesson and you start over. There you go. Um, anyway, uh, looking here, I'm just working on getting some patterns and things together. And I love this little um, bookmark that I got from a trade show or Comic Con or something. I don't remember the name of the book now. I think it was Winter Wood or something like that. But I also found it interesting that. Do you see how I cut out that little piece between her arm and her body? Again, that's me liking negative space. Um, and some people would opt not to cut that out, and it would be just fine. That's their interpretation. Um, and but I just really like the little bit of the pattern peeking out uh, from the back, from the back of the bookmark. Uh, I just really thought that was cute. Um, and I like the color combos here. I like that she's almost fading into that background. Um, yeah, I had to square out a lot of things, and oh, this already had some collage pieces on it, and I just had to wait till they dried so I could cut them. Uh, this is a dot on dot pattern. Um, these are not colors that I would put together normally. Um, Pink and brown. It's a little gingerbread house, but I kind of liked it. Um, and I wasn't thinking about, the people that these were for when I was making them. I was just having fun. And I thought, well, I'm going to end up with more bookmarks than I'm ever going to need. Um, so I'm just going to keep making and choose 3 out of the, I don't know, 500 that I ended up making. This raffia is from IKEA, super cheap, and so it has a tendency to unravel. So I just made sure I glued under the knot so it would stay put. Um, Here's that paper that I got in San Diego again. I don't know. I can't. I think I threw away all the packaging because it was 99 cents, and you got all these little rich bits of gold and bright colored. Looks sort of like I don't know, like Bollywood colors, like saris. Um, Loved it. Wish I could get some more. I hope there's more when I go back to San Diego this year. I hope there's more there. Um, uh, yeah. And this was a gift tag left over that overprinted. So for you, still works. Um, Here's some butterfly stickers. That stamp, it says time and trouble may tame a young woman, but a wild old woman is an unstoppable force. I love that saying. Uh, and I don't know if I was giving this, I think I probably still have that one because I don't think I knew who I was giving these to. This was a Christmas bookmark swap. And so you can't just give people a thing talking about wild old women when you don't know how old they are. Like I just turned 40. Oh my gosh. Send them into a depression tailspin for the winter. So here are most of my finished bookmarks. I love the way that perfect ends up on the bottom. And I also love that it's slightly off center, so the perfect is imperfect. Um, uh, I think my favorite one is the one with the girl cut out, and this one here on the far right with the dots on it. I just love that color combination. Um, yeah, there's my butterflies, and for you. And I wasn't really. You can see I'm not really too. I tried to match the fronts and the backs, but I'm not overly concerned with do they match exactly. Um, I like that adventure with the copper. That's groovy. And here's one with a lot of books on it. I do believe that this is one I sent to my swappee, whatever. Um, but yeah, I think I ended up with some winners. I definitely ended up with some losers, but that one I don't like at all. um, uh, and I'm in another swap next month, and I still have some of these bookmarks. So guess who's going to get a bookmark? I have a guy this time, so uh, that's going to be difficult to find out like what type of, because you know with the girls you can just like, oh, here's a little notebook and here's a little doodad, um, little Hello Kitty pen, even if they don't like Hello Kitty. Uh, it's all good. A guy, it's like, oh no, I gotta find something masculine and brown and black and made of leather and smelling of smoke and whiskey. I don't know why I feel that way, but I do. Um, so luckily, we have a list of items that our swappies want. But I'm going to throw in a bookmark, and I'm going to throw in um, a journal. And I think we have to get 2 books off the list, 2 or 3 books. So, yeah, that'll be a nice package. It's always nice to get a package, even if it's from strangers, and especially if it's like something that you want, because they're supposed to get you something off the list. So that's always really cool, because then you get what you want. Um, these little banner magnets that just go over, your page. I use the little flat magnets that you get that you're supposed to like put your business card on, because they're thin enough. The thing you want to make sure is that you want to get the side, you want to get the parts that attract to each other, because I'd made one previously and put the sides together that repel each other. So that didn't really work so well as a magnet for a bookmark. Um, but this one worked just fine. And I ended up doing 3 of them, but as you see, the video will abruptly end in a few minutes, and I don't know where that video went. I think I thought I was recording and was not. So I hope you enjoyed my little chat, and hope you liked watching me make bookmarks. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.
I'm not doing anything.